Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. And of course, here's your meme of the day, brought to you by FiveMind.com. You know, there's certain little points of rhetoric that may have worked at some point, at least partially, worked to a certain extent. But at some point, you just gotta retire the talking point. You just gotta give up. And I think at this point, it's time for the Democrats to retire their clutched pearls, let's just say. I mean, it's been 10 years of them trying to convince us that Donald Trump should be ostracized from public life. He's not presidential. He's the worst human being ever. He's the problem. He's divisive. They want us to get our panties in a knot because Donald Trump said something that might have hurt somebody's feelings. Ooh, someone on TikTok was offended. Throw away democracy as we know it. That's essentially this new age feminist left-wing thinking. But you know what? We don't care. Nobody cares. At this point, throw the talking point away. Move on. But of course, the left could never do this. No. And now here they are again, lecturing us on how terrible Donald Trump is, how much of a bad human being he is because he said this. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. They want us to be offended. They want us to cower. But if anything, I'm just thinking, the Trumpinator is back, baby. I'm not freaking offended. If anything, I'm reminiscent of the good old days. But anyways, let me show you guys this latest moment that has Democrats' panties in a freaking knot. It's time to throw the baby out with the bathwater. Donald Trump called J.B. Pritzker fat. Quick, let's push articles of impeachment. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so here's Donald Trump.
I had a little bit of a Pritzker joke. I was going to talk about Pritzker and size, but when I talk about Pritzker, I get angry because he's not letting us do the job. So I'm not going to tell my Pritzker joke. They have a very cute little joke, Some speechwriter wrote some joke about his weight. But I would never want to talk about his weight. I don't talk about people being fat. I refuse to talk about the fact that he's a fat slob. I don't mention it.
We got a dumb little joke here about a fat governor that, of course, is simply just an accurate description. Donald Trump calls one of the world's most premier fat asses fat, and apparently it's disqualifying behavior. But it's not. It's classic Trump. But of course, it's another opportunity for the left to push their rhetoric. This is beneath the office. It's so divisive. This is why he's unfit to serve. But please, spare me. These are the same people who accuse this man of genocide every other frickin' week, and now they're clutching their pearls over a fat joke? That's what's been so immensely frustrating throughout this entire process, dealing with these idiotic leftoids throughout the last 10 years. They tell you this is low discourse. You should be ashamed of this president and ashamed of yourself if you support him. But honestly, the rhetoric coming out of this president's mouth, even the lows that he stoops to, in my view, meet the moment perfectly. Because what the hell else is he supposed to do when interacting with people who have done nothing but run with hoaxes, lie about this Russia nonsense? They infiltrated his campaign with leakers, staging them as fake whistleblowers. They cooked up indictments against him, weaponized every agency of government imaginable against him. They tried ruining his life, his reputation, not to mention his entire professional orbit and family. He's dealt with the lowest of low attacks, and he's not allowed to vent. He's not allowed to call J.B. Pritzker fat. Give me a frickin' break. If anybody has earned the privilege to not only call J.B. Pritzker fat, but also Rosie O'Donnell and Stacey Abrams and a whole freaking lot of them. If anybody's earned that privilege, it's this president. And what he's doing is not dividing the country. No, that is what you people are doing. The moment you leftoids declared war on him, not because he was an actual existential threat, but because he dared walk down that golden escalator, declaring his candidacy as a Republican. If he had declared as a Democrat, he probably would have been a 2-term president, 2 consecutive terms, that is. Probably would have won, 7 freaking Nobel Peace Prizes. He'd be hailed as one of the greatest presidents of all time, but because he was a Republican, it was all-out war. They accused him of everything. He's got blood on his hands, they told you. He's a war criminal, they told you. He's a pedophile is their latest slanderous talking point. I mean, what low do they not go to? And so yes, please, spare me this phony outrage. I'm more offended by your weekly psyops than I am by anything the president has ever said. And it's funny because as the leftoids are now clutching their pearls over this, in my view, totally innocuous joke, while they're crying about the president being mean. Oh, he's a big bad meanie. What is the left up to? Well, they're just casually, actively flirting with sedition in broad frickin' daylight. right? Engaging in a mass media campaign, essentially hinting that the American military should ignore orders from the president that are deemed illegal. Yeah, that's their legal cop-out. Disobey the president and all of his illegal acts is illegal acts. Defined by who exactly? Well, probably preferably from them. Illegal acts defined by Adam Schiff and Rachel frickin' Maddow. But obviously everybody sees what's going on here. A coordinated message campaign to at least, I think it's fair to say, flirt with sedition. There's already many military processes in place to deal with potentially illegal orders. And the Democrats, of course, know this. And so obviously what they're trying to do is breed a culture of sabotage against the President of the United States in probably the most dangerous area imaginable. And everybody sees it. The left-wing arguments, they're not stacking up to the pressure.
My first reaction was, why the hell did you put this video out? I know you're trying to poke at him. Of course you don't obey an illegal order. Of course there are standards and processes that our military has followed, not just for decades, but for centuries. That's a given. You're doing this just to create a political issue. And shame on you, because there are men and women who are serving in Japan, in Korea, all over the globe, in the Middle East, in other Asian countries, and this is Thanksgiving, and they're not home, and they're sacrificing for this country. And you're playing politics at this point?
When I saw that video, I was outraged for the president because it's obvious what the Democrats were trying to do. They were trying to create a narrative that the president had, in fact, given illegal orders. Nobody's yet named an illegal order. All the people in the video went on TV and got asked, what are the illegal orders? None of them can name an illegal order. Ilesa Slotkin, who's supposed to be the moderate and the smart person in that group, said, well, you know, we have this movie, A Few Good Men. I mean, it was so unserious, but the point was clear. They're trying to program their political party, half the country, into believing that the president has given an illegal order, which has not happened. And so he's outraged. Every Republican that I know is outraged. The legalities of this, the investigatory part of this, I'm less sure about. But I'll tell you this, it's not good to treat the military like pawns. These Democrats shut down the government 43 days and didn't pay them. And now they're out here using them in this illegal order video, which is obviously political. I think some people, you know, in our coalition are thinking, they keep treating the military like pawns. It's very disrespectful.
We see exactly what they were up to, but again, we're supposed to be more offended by Trump making fun of J.B. Pritzker's appearance than whatever the hell the latest Democrat coup or insurrection is. Give me a frickin' break. Or probably more accurately describing my current sentiment, piss off. The truth is, they're 10 times, I'd say even 1,000 times more offensive. They're 1,000,000 times more destructive, 1,000,000 times more dangerous. Yeah, I guess simply put, I'll take the guy who cracks a couple jokes over the crowd that's openly fantasizing about using institutional power to crush their opponents and seize indefinite power. Don't give them an inch, folks, because they clearly don't deserve even the smallest fraction of an inch. This whole perception of moral authority coming from the left is one of the biggest crux of shit known to mankind. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.